Hey guys, this is Latoya here with InStyle Atlanta, and this beautiful lady to the left of me, she don't need an introduction. I mean, just reality star, business entrepreneur, artist developer, marketing guru, social media specialist. I mean, just everything. The Yandy Smith
The most important
author.
that is not the most important title. Mommy.
She's a mom.
I'm a
Mother's
mommy
Day.
of two little beautiful brown babies that I love with all of my heart and soul. You have to say that first.
Okay.
In this
So let me start over. My apologies.
You can just say mother since you gave me everything.
Gave her everything. The lady to the left of me, she doesn't need an introduction. The beautiful mother of two beautiful kids,
Yes,
Miss
thank you
Yandy
very
Smith.
much. Yay! Now I feel good about her.
How are you, gorgeous?
I am wonderful. I am loving being out here in Atlanta. Every time I'm here, I'm like, this is home. It's calling me. This is home.
We want you to come.
I'm coming. You know, I just opened up a huge office out here. That is the first step. So I have my partner holding down the office. I'm back and forth though. I'm here like every week, every other week for a couple of days.
Because you have like a production green room thing going on.
I have a huge production studio out here. We have two recording studios. We have a green screen room. We have a photography setup, and then we have two suites right above. So if we have any artists in the recording studio that need to spend a night, they can sleep in the rooms. And then I have my offices downstairs.
That's awesome. So why Atlanta? I mean, it seemed like all of New York is a movie. I'm from New York. My producer's from New York. Why Atlanta?
Well, you know, besides the tax credit that you get when you do anything
The new Hollywood.
The new Hollywood, it's a huge tax credit, which is awesome. But just the vibe, the energy is good. The spirit, I move off spirits, and the energy feels good out here. It feels so good, and everyone seems to support everyone, and I love that.
So it's rumored that we may be expecting you on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Is that any truth to that?
Who said that?
You know, people they just gossip.
Well, you guys are just going to have to stay tuned and watch and see. But you know, I am a New York girl at heart. Okay. If that is any type of a hint for you, I am still New York to my core, but I do love Atlanta.
Awesome. So let's jump into all of this. Like, you know, you have a new book out. You are a reality star. You still have your business things going on. How do you balance it all?
You know what? Every day I'm figuring out the balancing act. It changes day by day. And for me, it's just all about prioritizing. And some days the priorities are different. Yeah. You know, babies are always the number one priority, but then after the babies, it's the business. And some days I got to focus on my new author position, or other days I focus on the artist and the management side. Some other days I'm focusing on, you know, building out this space that I have. Every day my balancing is figuring out which needs my priority more, you know? So it's a prioritizing act every single day.
Now, do you have someone that watches your kids while you're like a nanny, or is it a family member?
I've always kind of been opposed to the nanny thing. Like,
why?
I don't have a living because I've been in this industry for a long time, and I've been around a lot of people in entertainment, and I've seen how a lot of them gracefully leave their babies in other people's care.
Gracefully, y'all.
And because I'm not trying to hate on anybody and what they do, that just wasn't what I wanted. You know, I definitely wanted to, if I'm on tour, I wanted to bring my babies on tour with me. However, I understand my baby now, Amir, is in school. So you can't just pick him up and take him out. Like right now I'm in Atlanta for 4 days without Amir. Because he's in school. So I understand. So my mom, she's a great support system of mine. So
shout out to mommy.
Shout out to mommy. So my assistant is dropping him off at school. Then my assistant picks him up and is bringing him to my mom for these days. But I didn't want my children to be more connected to someone other than me. So I purposely breastfed, not because definitely because it's the main nutritional source for my children, but also because I wanted to make sure I didn't give myself an excuse. If I'm not with my baby, if I'm not present, my baby will not eat. And if my baby don't eat, my baby's not going to survive. Yeah. So I was very present with my son and my daughter. I breastfed both of them until their first birthday. So if I was on the road, they were on the road with me. If I was flying out, they were flying out with me. And that's kind of what I needed to do just for my sanity and for my balance, because I don't really operate the way I need to if I don't feel connected and close to my baby.
Yeah, and I was going to say that because I have a 3-year-old daughter, and I still work my 9 to 5. I have my own business outside of that, and so some nights I'm just gone. Is there a certain guilt that you feel like you said, you're here for 4 days, Absolutely. Even though you kind of have it all scheduled, but isn't like a guilt as a mom?
Absolutely. I feel guilt sometimes when I wake them up, I take them to take Amir to school, take Skylar to the babysitter, And if I come home late and they're already sleeping and I see them in the bed, I'm like, I miss putting them to bed. Sometimes, even if I have an event, I'll come home from work, then I'll come home right before the event, put them to bed, and then leave because it's so important for me to tuck them in and get that one last little prayer in and that one last goodnight kiss. But the days when I miss it, like being out here, I definitely... If I don't get to FaceTime them and they fall asleep, I'm like, Mom, why did you let him fall asleep? Why did you let Skylar fall asleep without me saying goodnight? So funny, I was in the elevator on the phone with Skylar coming up, and as soon as the doors closed, I was getting ready to say goodbye because I was like, when I get like the fifth floor, it's going to cut off. So let me get ready to say goodbye. Right when the doors closed, the elevator cut off, and I didn't get to say bye. So I'm like, I didn't say bye to Skylar Reds. But yeah, it's super important for me to have that bond. So I didn't want a nanny, like a full-time person.
Yeah. So you have the book, My Blended Family.
I do.
Let's talk about this blended family.
Yes.
How has it been? I know we've seen it on the show.
Oh, yes.
It's been kind of crazy.
More than crazy.
Has it improved with the baby mamas?
So listen, I am definitely the living, walking model of a blended family. And that was a lot of the motivation for the book. Going into this season, I didn't have any ill will or bad blood between myself and any of them. One I had no relationship with at all. The other one, it was good, except for the reunion show last year. But I was like, that was just for TV. We good. So going into this season, it was like my eyes were wide shut because I thought like we're going to be the model example of what a blended family should be. And that's when the book was started.
Okay.
So you put a camera on in front of some people.
It don't come off that. It don't portray that.
All kind of feelings I didn't know you felt. All kind of thoughts you had in your head I didn't know you thought. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, that's what you thought? Oh, that's how you felt? Oh, now I see why I didn't speak to you so much. But it's like, it was definitely a growing period for me. It was definitely sometimes you got to learn hard lessons. And I can't even front and say that, it wasn't a hard lesson for me to learn that even there's some things within me that I need to change. I definitely saw how selfish I was in certain situations. I definitely saw how much unwilling I was to compromise. And I didn't like seeing that. I didn't like, I'm always in control. I control myself very well. So that's why some of these past seasons you'll say, well, Yandy, she never really gets mad or she don't really pay much attention. I get mad. I get very mad. I get upset.
Now, do you think that's what
I control myself. Mm-hmm. But when it is matters of the heart, and when it is matters of the family,
and the kids,
and when it is matters of my babies, and I consider all of them my babies, whether I birthed them or whether I received them from my husband. So I consider them all mine. And matters of the children, that hits very close to my heart. And that is when all self-control goes out the window. So I claim every single thing that I did. I claim it all to be me. I can't say I am not that person. I don't know who I said. No, that's me. But it only comes when I'm not being able to control myself. And you mess with my man, you mess with my kids, you mess with my money, you will see that person.
So do you think that's kind of where the other baby mothers was coming from as far as the control, and you wanted to kind of feel like you were their mother and them feeling kind of,
I never
slighted a little bit?
Everything I did was out of love. Every single thing that I've ever done, any trip I ever took a child on, anything I've ever purchased, anything I've ever paid for, any love, any tuck in at night, wake them up, take them to school, anything I've ever done was for love. I didn't ask for anything. So from another mother to a mother, would I have felt slighted if someone did that for mine? Maybe not, but I'm not them. So I can't say how another mother would feel, So I've learned not to necessarily put myself in someone else's shoes because they're not me. And everyone doesn't receive everything the same way. And that's something that I had to grow to learn because I'm like, why are you mad at me? But they have very valid point. Maybe I didn't want my son to go on that trip. I didn't want you to buy this for my son. I didn't want him to do, and that's fair. And for me in the moment, just hearing it with a camera in front of me, I'm like, how dare you? Who do you think? Instead of hearing it, instead of listening, of course, I was defensive and I'm like, what? And now, thinking back, it's like, Yandy, you could have been a bigger person, just listen. You could have been a bigger person, just said, you know what? All right, I get it, my bad. But instead I was defensive. Like, I did this because I love him. I could have been doing this. I could have been hitting your child. I could have been pinching your child. I could have been leaving your child out. But I'm being penalized because I included him. So but some mothers feel like.
Do you think it's a sense of jealousy? I mean, you have the ring, you have the man, you have the position. Do you think that they kind of.
I'm not in their shoes, so I can't really say what it is, and I would be assuming, and I've learned young not to assume. But I wish them the best, and I am definitely growing into a different person. If there was a do-over, I would absolutely want it to have ended it on a positive note. I would definitely want to rekindle and kind of provide a positive space and a loving space for the adults. The children are still connected. The children still hang out. The children love each other. They're so inseparable. So I'm glad that hasn't been affected. But it's weird when you got to drop somebody off to the grandma, and the other one has to drop to the grandma, then they come over instead of just being able to go to each other's home.
And that's what I was going to ask. Like, how do that blended family in your world, what's the reality of it right now?
The reality of
Do
it,
y'all meet? Do y'all talk? Or no, everything is through a different...
Everything is through,
Mom.
Not necessarily. My mom, his mom, a friend... and really my husband was a connecting factor before. I was always running around a lot, so I might not necessarily go pick up the kids, but he was that dad that dropped the kids off to school, picked them up from school.
I love how hands-on he was.
Oh gosh, yeah. So he would pick up the kids, but I would be the one home, in the office working, cooking dinner. So I never really had to connect very much. But Samantha, she's come over to the house. We've gone to her house. So her and I had a relationship, but the other one, I never really crossed too many paths with her.
Is she still in your apartment?
No. No. Mm-mm. No, not
So speaking of your husband, Mendici, how is it? What's the reality of it? I'm a single mom. Not having, my daughter's father's in her life, but not having that male figure there every day is definitely a big difference. And so we know your husband is away.
Yes.
What is that like? What's the reality of it at night when you're home, you're bouncing everything, and you're like, damn, you locked up. Like, how do you feel sometimes?
Yeah, that is when it really hits me. At night when I'm alone, I cut the lights off and everything is still and everything is quiet. And I look to my left and I look to my right and I'm in the bed by myself. That is when it's like, oh my gosh, I'm alone. But one thing I can say is I'm not lonely. He and we see each other every week. I can see him Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. If I'm booked on a Friday, I'll see him Saturday. If I'm booked on a Friday and Saturday, I'll see him on Sunday.
So you see him every week?
I see him every week. And my children see him. My children see him every week as well. And then he emails me about 3-4 times a day. And he calls in the morning.
Talking about what? What the kids doing?
Nothing. What you doing? Oh, I just read this book. Oh, go look up this chapter. Oh, here's this new word. I want you to use this word 3 times. This is Amir. He gives Amir a spelling word every week that he tests Amir on. And then with the kids, like the kids... They don't realize, they know that daddy's not tucking them in or taking them to school, but they don't realize he's not there because the way we were set up before, we both traveled a lot. So he would travel a lot. He used to be booked more than I was booked.
I heard that he'd been getting money in Harlem. Everybody in New York know that Mendici's been getting money.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday sometimes. So they were used to dad being gone on the weekends. So now it's opposite. It's like we see dad on the weekends, but during the week, it's just mommy and us. And then he's so prevalent in our house. Like my son says stuff like, oh no, mom, I want my toothbrush next to daddy's toothbrush. I still keep daddy's toothbrush there. Mommy, can you drop me off with daddy's favorite towel? Or if we have like baked chicken, he's like, mommy, we're having daddy's favorite food tonight. So every single day, Amir mentions dad's name. And we have pictures all over the house of dad. And Skylar's always like, Daddy, Mindy. So just recently, we went to see him on Friday. And my daughter speaks Spanish because her babysitter is Spanish. So, we had another Spanish woman there, and she's talking to Skylar in Spanish. And she's like, ¿Cómo te llama? Asking Skylar her name. Then she's like, what's, her name? What's his name? And with me, she's like, that's mommy. And then she said, that's Daddy Mendici Harris. He was like,
what?
Daddy, he said, bust out laughing, like, how she know my whole name? And I'm like, because we point to the pictures and I'll say, Daddy Mendici Harris. Dad,
that's so smart.
Yeah. He was like, no, she's not ever supposed to know my whole name. I'm just Daddy. So it was funny. So my kids, they're good. It's really me that's affected more so than them. Because
you're so strong.
It looks to be that way, right?
Yeah, it does.
Like I said, those nighttime outs when the lights cut off, or just little things like the other day, our favorite song is this Adele song, One and Only. That song came on was it on the radio or in the office? I was somewhere, that song came on and I was just like, oh my gosh, that's our song. And we danced to the song at our wedding. And then, of course, that's not stuff that I post on Instagram. That's not the stuff that you're going to see on Snapchat from me. But I have those moments, and I'm sure he has those moments. So the strong side of me, of course, I like to put out there because It's inspiring and it empowers other women that are going through the same thing I'm going through. But don't be fooled, honey. I have those moments. So when you have those moments, know that we are crying together and we are praying for them to come home together. I do have those moments.
Do we know? I know that he had a hearing recently. Do we know when he's coming home?
I know when he's coming home. I don't want to jinx it.
Okay.
But yes, definitely sooner than you think, and definitely within 2 years. I'll say that.
Awesome. You excited?
2 years less than 2 years.
Good. That's
Yeah,
exciting.
I'm excited. I mean, to be honest with you, this time apart has been great for our relationship because there are no distractions. You know, when we are with each other, it's no TV, there's no football game, there's no PlayStation. I'm talking through like, babe,
There's no phone.
There's no phone. There's no me on Instagram. There's no me taking calls. Right. It's me and him, and there's nobody else. And we got to sit and we got to talk. We mute out all the other visitors on the visiting floor, and it's just me and him. Mm-hmm. And even though we've been together for years, we've never had that. Mm-hmm. So that's special for us in a weird kind of way. And then even on the phone, there's no clicking over. When somebody's clicking on my other line and I'm on the phone with him, I'm on the phone with him. I don't click over. So it's special. Mm-hmm. And then even the emails, that man don't write me no letters. When we first met, I used to get, you remember the two-way pagers? Yeah. I used to be like, boop, boop. I got mad text from him. It's like, and then we went to the BlackBerry phase. I would get a paragraph from the BlackBerry. Now we're on iPhone. I get a line. Yo, what you doing? Where you at, babe?
An emoji,
right? Like, and I'm like, you want that? What that mean? I love you. What that mean? You want to kiss me? So now I get long letters. He's expressing himself about what he wants to do, and when he comes home and his dream and his goal, he's congratulating me on this, or he's like, oh, I saw you in this picture and you look so good, and I wanted to. And I'm like, you don't tell me that stuff when you here. You're gonna have to keep that up. Exactly. I'm gonna have to find somebody that'll do that too. So, I always see him like that. Like, you got to keep this up. I'm telling you, the person you are right now, when you come home, don't go back to that one liner. Don't go back to those emoji kiss signs. I want to know exactly how you want to kiss me, where you want to kiss me, and how long you want to kiss me for. Okay? Detail. So, yeah, that's the type of emails I get. Don't go back to them little kiss emojis. Don't do it. Don't do it.
So we know you got your studio here and everything. Yeah. Tell me, so you're still working with a lot of artists?
I'm still working. Well, I wouldn't say a lot of artists because I just don't have the time. But I've picked a handful that I believe in so much, and I'm building a team. I do want to work with more artists with my team, in conjunction with a team. So out here in Atlanta, we've been building and growing the team. But yes, I'm still working with artists. Right now, we're getting ready to put out a project with Jewels. We're putting out a project. We have an artist on tour. His name is Alex B. He's dope. I have Katie Got Bands, who's based out of Chicago. She's amazing. I have Sharifa, who's a singer who used to be signed to Ludacris. Mm-hmm. She's really good as well. I know I'm leaving out someone that's going to kill me.
The one on the show.
Oh, Bianca.
Bianca, are you still working with her? Y'all parted ways.
You have to tune into the show for that one.
No, y'all work.
You'll have to tune in.
Okay. Some shady stuff, y'all, going on. Okay. Do you miss some of the old artists that you
I do. Forever I will work with Missy, and whenever Missy calls me, it's like, what you need, what can I do, how can I help? Right. Whenever Busta calls, what you need, what can I do? That is family forever and ever. I miss Violator, I miss Chris Lighty, I miss Mona being my boss. Even though I love being an entrepreneur, I loved getting the guidance from her and watching her do her thing and being in all the meetings and all the rooms. So her and I are working on a new project together, which I'm excited about.
I heard that she's working with Candy, and they're doing the. Yeah. Are you a part of that?
Yeah.
The Escape documentary. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. The new edition one was really a success. So I'm really excited about this one.
Yep. So I'm really happy to be a part of it and helping from behind the scenes with that on the management side. So yeah.
Do you think that you and Jim would ever work together again and make men's?
I don't desire to. I've been moving and shaking, and I wish him all the best. But my life has gone uphill from there. And again, I wish him the best. I don't look to make new friends or old friends new again. I think some people in life have an expiration date. I heard my
girl, Lala.
I was just gonna say,
wasn't that so? Oh my God!
I was just gonna say, I heard my girl Lala say that earlier today, and when she said it, I totally felt it because there's so many people in my life that they served an amazing purpose for that time. Yeah. You know, Jim. When I decided to break off from Violator and start my own management company, Jim was my first artist, and that was coming off of the Missy Elliott, the Busters, the 50s. So I had all these artists that were platinum selling artists, and then I went to Jim. It was like a new baby that I had to birth. birth. And, and I feel like we kind of grew up together in this industry, and it was great for that time. We made a lot of money together, and with him, it wasn't an easy road. It was grind. It was cold calling. It was, I got this artist. Can y'all help me? It was begging. It was knocking on doors. It was showing up without being invited.
Me, yes, yes.
And I needed an artist like him for that time. I don't know that I have the time to manage a Jim Jones right now. The closest thing I have to Jim Jones is Joel Santana, and he's very, very different.
Dope.
He's very different, and I'm excited about where I am. I'm excited about those expiration dates that have expired, and now moving on to bigger and better things.
We still miss them, though, don't we? Sometimes our old friends,
I do. I miss my old friends. I won't say that I miss some aspects of the business that I let expire, but friends that I've had to just kind of cut ties with. Sometimes I miss the fun times. Sometimes I miss those, super crazy nights and all of that. But as you grow and I have children now and my business is moving, I don't have time for baggage. And some of my friends, I don't mind looking back and pulling you up with me, but I don't have the time to pull you up and then you take me back down 3 steps. I'll pull you up 5 and you take me down 2. I got kids to feed. So I don't have time to play that game anymore. And if I look back on my life, the people that are no longer in my life are those people that were in my relationship like that. I like people that I got to catch up to, that I'm trying to, you got a lot going on. I want to catch up to you. You know what I'm saying? I don't need somebody pulling me back.
That's awesome. So you have all your businesses. What can we expect in this book, The Blended Family?
Okay, so this book it was kind of therapeutic for me and my family. There are always some awkward and difficult conversations when you're in a blended family that you have to have with your children. And I noticed myself having those conversations more and more with my child when his brother wasn't in our house anymore, and when his brother wasn't able to make every holiday, every Christmas, birthday, and all that stuff. So Amir had a birthday that passed when he turned 3, and he thought it was the end of the world. No, when he turned 4, he thought it was the end of the world when his big brother wasn't there. One of his big brothers were there, but the other one wasn't there. And he's like, he doesn't love me, and why did he?
They're so dramatic.
Birthday? And oh my God! And I'm like, no, Amir, he loves you. He just had obligations with his mommy. Then it was like, his mommy? What do you mean his mommy? Yeah, aren't you his mom? And it was like, okay. How do I explain this to my son? Who's only 4, and then I said, you know what? I'm going to put it in a book, and I'm going to help my child to understand that he's not the only one. Because Amir was looking at me like, well, mommy, why is this? I don't understand. And I'm like, no, you're not. This is the new normal. You're not different. Yeah. So when I put it in a book and I explained some situations that blended families go through in this book, he's like, oh, mommy, that happened to me too. Because the little boy in the book, his big brother couldn't come to his party because he was going to a family reunion with his mom. And he's like, oh, mommy, remember when Little Miss DC wasn't at my party? That's the same thing like me that happened. I'm like, so you don't even know that you inspired this story, Amir. But yeah, exactly. So there's 2 stories in the book. The other story is about a little boy that goes to visit his dad and his other family with his siblings, his half brother and sister, on the weekends. And it's a very positive image of this family. And I love the fact that it was very important for me to have children that looked like my children and it looked like it could be my family. It's not my family, but they're brown like us. Yeah. And it was very relatable. Yeah. And I'm excited that this book is in the New York City public libraries. It's now in about 5 or 6 New York City public schools, and I've been doing book signings all over the place. I'm actually doing a book signing for the mayor's office out here.
Awesome.
Yeah, so you'll see me posting about that, and hopefully I'll get it in some public schools out here in Atlanta as well.
If there was one piece of advice you can give to a mother that's watching who is really struggling, really about to leave their baby father, their fiance, whatever, because they're dealing with the baby mama drama. I mean, because it's tough. Yeah. I've experienced it. This book is really an inspiration and can inspire people. What's one piece of advice that you would give?
For me, what helped me is to understand that there's always a tomorrow. What you go through today, the fight you have today, will not be your fight and your struggle tomorrow. And even if you're picking up and you're getting ready to be on your own, if you are a mother like me, which I'm sure many of you are, where you will do any and everything for the well-being of your child, you'll be fine. you'll make it. Because what will motivate you is the love that you have. So that's going to motivate you to get your degree or even your diploma or your GED for those young moms. That's going to motivate you to not settle for a mediocre job or want the best job. Or even if you add a mediocre job, to have a very high position at that job. It's going to motivate you to always want to grow so that you can provide the best for your child. You know, for me, I haven't reached my goal, right? Every other year or every other month, there's something new that I'm creating. And it's only because I have these little babies that I want the best life for. I never really wanted to have children before I had Amir. And it was like, oh, I'm too busy. I don't got time for that. But I've never known a hustle and a grind, like the hustle and the grind that I have to have while I have children. The hustle and the grind is so different. This morning I had to wake up at 6 a.m. I went to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning last night, but I was like, I got to get up. I got to promote this book because I have got to finish paying for Skylar's school. Amir's school is paid for. Now I'm on Skylar. I got to get up at 6 a.m.
I can't imagine New York tuition.
Yeah, it's a lot.
My daughter private school's killing me.
It's a lot. It's like $50,000 plus for kindergarten in private school.
It's ridiculous.
Hello, so I'm moving down here to Atlanta.
Yes.
But it's a different type of motivation. It's a different battery in my back when I know that if I don't feed them, they won't eat.
Yeah.
It's different. And mothers, you guys, it might not seem promising. It might not seem like it's going to be easy, and it won't. But you're going to do it because you're going to look into those little baby eyes, brown, blue, yellow, green, whatever color those eyes are, and it's going to make you. It's going to push you, and you're going to be greater and better than you were before. Trust me.
Trust her. Oh, you're going to make me cry. That was good.
Really?
That was deep. That was
it's just true from...
You was on Oprah just now. That was really good.
Stop it.
That was really good. So tell the people where they can find you out on social media, where they can find the book, all that good stuff.
I keep things very, very simple. I keep it in the name I get checks in. That's Yandy Smith for Twitter, Yandy Smith for Instagram, Facebook. And then you can buy my book on yandysmith.com, or you can go to barnesandnobles.com, amazon.com. There are probably other outlets, McBrideStories.com. But yeah, Yandy Smith. Just go to Yandy Smith anything, Facebook, Instagram, and you'll figure out where I am. You'll figure out where to get my stuff because I promote it all the time.
All the time, guys. Yandy Smith. Get the book, My Blended
Thank you,
Family.
Atlanta.
This is really good, guys. Awesome. You're so amazing. You make being a boss look easy. Like,
No,
you just be everywhere.
It's not easy, but I do be everywhere.
You do be
I
everywhere.
with them babies on my back, child. It is not easy. You see these bags under my eyes?
Nah, you look good. You look good. Guys, Yandy Smith, thanks for tuning in to InStyle Atlanta. Till next time.